As the world looks in shock and awe at the developments in Afghanistan, few forces inside India are grinding their nails to keep India safe from terrorism. On 11th of August, National Investigation Agency or NIA raided 10 locations in Jammu and Kashmir. On 4th of August, 3 places in Kashmir, one in Bangalore, another location in Mangalore was raided by NIA. On 17th August, 2 women from Kerala, ISIS Module, were arrested by NIA. The world merely came to know this much. This video has details of 3 intelligence operations and a sinister ploy of the enemy. We will tell you the enemy's plan for Hindus and India in general. We'll show you how much effort these operations took and how dangerous those who've been arrested are. One of the operations is about how RAW and US intelligence agency CIA came together with NIA and Intelligence Bureau to solve a puzzle that they stumbled upon in 2019. Before we proceed further, do not forget to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Do give us your feedback too. This motivates us to post more such videos. This is how ISIS's ideological back is being broken by India's intelligence agencies. On 11th July, National Investigation Agency or NIA raided 10 locations in Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag district simultaneously. Such raids are carried out simultaneously with the intention to prevent information regarding the raid from spreading, which may help the terror groups to escape and clean up the sites of any proof. This raid took place a day after 11 employees of Jammu Kashmir government were sacked for terror links. Among those dismissed were 2 sons of Syed Salahuddin, chief of terrorist group Hizbul Mujahideen. That day after the raid, NIA had arrested 5 people for being part of terrorist organization ISIS and for recruiting Indian youth to wage a violent jihad against Indian state. Among those arrested were Umar Nisar, Tanveer Ahmad and Ramiz Ahmad. Interestingly, they belong to a new ISIS module and the terror funding case was registered just 10 days before the raid. However, these suspects were under the surveillance of intelligence agencies for more than 3 months. But the actual story started in 2019. Indian spy agencies came to know of a magazine called Voice of Hind, which was being run from India in 2019 and which eulogized ISIS leaders like Huzaifa al-Bakistani, a highly trained Pakistani national who was a key recruiter of ISIS and also the mastermind of the banned outfit's activities within Kashmir. Huzaifa was killed in a drone attack in Afghanistan's Nangarhar province on July 18, 2019, and with that, the magazine went silent for some time. India has had very few cases relating to ISIS radicalization, with the Indian Home Ministry putting the number of cases at 155 in 2019. The penetration of ISIS ideology and propaganda churning in India can be declared a massive failure when compared to Western countries like France and Belgium, which have comparatively many more cases according to their population density. ISIS is never known to treat Indian recruits well. In a case which had come to light in 2014, Arib Majid, an ISIS recruit who had joined ISIS in Iraq, was in for absolute shock. He was apparently made to clean toilets and do menial jobs. Such confessions hit ISIS's reputation hard in India. Voice of Hind was part of ISIS's strategy to make a comeback in the Indian subcontinent, but with al-Bakistani's death, the attempt had failed. After a period of silence, the magazine came back to life in February 2020. And then, in March 2020, agencies made a breakthrough. Jahan Zaib, Sami Wani and his wife, Hina Bashir Beg, a Kashmiri couple rounded up by the spies of Special Cell of Delhi Police and subsequently arrested for having links with Khorasan module of ISIS and fueling anti-citizenship amendment bill protests. The couple, along with their associate, had tried to make an improvised IED and were planning to carry out mass killings in crowded places to further activities of ISIS or ISIS Khorasan in India. Agencies came to know during the interrogation of the couple that Wani had established contact with ISIS through handler Huzaifa al-Pakistani after he was radicalized online. The couple had been in Malaysia and were in touch with the members whom they knew only by their code names. But after their arrest, the publication of the digital magazine Voice of Hind was once again stopped for some time, so the agencies were left in dark again as to who was really running the Voice of Hind magazine. The agencies had to wait for a few more editions of the propaganda machine to reappear on the dark web to nail the real culprits. That's when RAW intercepted Qasim Khorasani's conversations on a social media app. Initially, it was believed he was in Afghanistan. So RAW had shared inputs with American agencies, which is CIA. But US intelligence grid found out that the man in question was using double VPN and was tracked to different locations within matter of hours. This was a clever way to mask the location of IP addresses, which were traced back to Uzbekistan, Peru and Cuba. But no terrorist can outsmart the agencies. Soon, agencies cracked the IP address to Achwal in South Kashmir. The agencies had to ensure that the man did not escape when they raided his house. On the intervening night of 10th and 11th July, around 2 am, teams of security forces moved to different locations to conduct simultaneous raids. This is how secret the raids were. In the last 5 to 6 years, the number of terrorist attacks have reduced in India. To this, we have only our agencies to thank. Other than the major operations, intelligence agencies were also involved in smaller operations, which were also part of cracking down on ISIS. NIA raided 40 locations in Jammu and Kashmir linked to a banned outfit. Now this was being run by ISI. Similarly, parallel telephone exchanges were being run inside India by ISI, Pakistan's intelligence agency. In Kerala alone, police had busted 14 parallel telephone exchanges which were being used by ISI. All these formed a part of the bigger terror network. With each operation, more and more involvement of women and those in power came to light. NIA raided the grandson of late Congress MLA BM Idniba, who was arrested from Ulal in Mangalore. Amar Abdul Rahman, 35, was picked up in connection with Kerala ISIS module case which was registered in March this year. Rahman's niece is also believed to have been one of the 13 residents of Kasaragod, Kerala, who had left the country to join ISIS in 2016. She later died in an attack in 2018. On 17th August, National Investigation Agency arrested two women, Shifa Harris and Misha Siddiqui, in Kannur for ISIS links. They were a part of Kerala ISIS module, which is running various ISIS propaganda channels on different social media platforms. NIA officials visited the homes of the women at 6 am and took them in custody. NIA produced the two women before the court and seized their passports since they were planning to visit Iran. The agency said Misha Siddiqui had once reached Tehran on her way to Syria, and she had also sent money to her allies in Kashmir for ISIS operations. The arrest came months after NIA had nabbed one of their accomplices. Kerala ISIS module pertains to alleged terrorist activities of Amin, a resident of Kerala who was reportedly running social media campaigns and propaganda to raise funds for ISI and propagandizing the ISIS ideology. For the audience to not get confused, I repeat that sentence again. They were raising funds for ISI, Pakistan's spy agency, and propagandizing ISI's terrorist group's ideology. In short, ISI was recruiting Indians for ISIS. We had in 2020 published an article revealing the strategy of ISI, which was to get rid of terrorism tag attached to Pakistan and blame it on India. This could be one of the reasons why ISI stooges are now trying their level best within India and outside to target RSS while attacking Hindutva and trying to revive the non-existent saffron terror. As more and more cases came to light, enemy strategy against Hindus also became clear. On 4th of August, 3 places in Kashmir, one in Bangalore and another location in Mangalore was raided. NIA arrested 5 ISIS module members. This module first came to notice of intelligence agencies almost a year ago, as they were found peddling a large volume of propaganda from a particular religion on Instagram channel, which is called Chronicle Foundation, with over 5,000 members from across the world. But did you know one of the people arrested was in contact with ISIS in Palma? Palma is in Mozambique, Africa, where a carnage had taken place in April. Our source, ACE, tells us this is a neo-convert and a very dangerous man. Input on this man who was in contact with ISIS was shared by Military Intelligence of India few months ago. A joint effort helped in identification of man, which later led to his arrest. His name was Madesh Shankar. It was his message, "See you in Palma," during a conversation that caught the attention of agencies. It is really rare for an Indian to visit a place deep in Africa which is ISIS dominated. It was then easy to dig his background. Agencies now know Pakistan's spy agency is in direct contact with those who are recruiting for ISIS, and they are concentrating on converting Hindus and then radicalizing them. They opt for people with disrupted family backgrounds who are easier to radicalize. Madesh Shankar was one such case.